Yes, turn this off here. Okay.
All right, folks. Welcome to Fanisko's Learning from Leaders podcast series. And we have Jeff Miller, who is the CEO and General Manager of Worldwide Management Sports with us. Worldwide Management Sports basically own Jamaica Tallawahs, West Indies Legends, and they also manage the first cricket stadium in the U.S., which is in the Broward County, the Broward Central Broward Regional Park. Welcome, Jeff, to our podcast. Happy to have you here.
Well, it's great to be here, and thanks for inviting me.
Perfect, perfect. So tell our audience about yourself, your professional experience, and your association with Worldwide Management Group, and basically being the CEO of multiple organizations, right, and running those operations.
Well, look, if you would have asked me 10 years ago what I would have been doing today, cricket would have been way down on the spectrum. But I have had a history of being involved with cricket. I played cricket. I had the privilege to represent the U.S. On numerous occasions. Um, Living in South Florida, which is a major market, even when it comes to it's so close to the Caribbean, no matter of fact. And cricket, we were able to convince the government authorities that bringing cricket to Broward County could be a major economic impact for the county. No one knew about cricket back then. It took us a couple of years to convince the the, um, the government authorities here, and we were able to have a stadium built. Um, but going back in most of my history, I was the president of the South Florida Cricket for a little over 10 years. Um, Involved again in petitioning to have the stadium built. When that stadium was built, we had to present a bid plan to Cricket West Indies because we wanted to have the stadium here to be one of the venues. I was I was involved in that bid process. Took the bid, had the honor to present the bid on behalf of the U.S. Um, and unfortunately, we didn't get any of the World Cup games, but the process put us on the market because we became part of the scheduling for the West Indies. So I have been involved with cricket for years as an administrator. I have been involved for the last 15, 20 years as an administrator. When the stadium was built, we approached West Indies Cricket Board about bringing games here. A committee was formulated. I was asked to be the chairman of that committee, and then that committee led to an organization which I was appointed as the cricket director, spearheading all of the aspects of seeking to bring international cricket to the stadium. Then get involved with Worldwide Sports. We made a presentation to the county, and we have obtained a long-term agreement with Broward County to manage all international sport cricket events at the stadium, and I took on that role as the CEO of Worldwide Sports. Then we end up then purchasing the Jamaica Tallawahs, and that came under my portfolio also. Then we end up purchasing the West Indies Legends, that came under my portfolio. And then minor league, which is scheduled to start here this year, that also came under my portfolio. So as you said earlier, I'm a man that wearing a couple of hats. But look, it's enjoyable. I'm enjoying it. A lot of people love the job. It takes me all around the world. as we speak, I'm leaving on Friday, heading out to India to be part of that West Indies Legends team. So look, it's enjoyable. It's a lot of hard work, but it's a lot of fun.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, a lot of the people would die for the position that you're in, right? Managing multiple teams,
Yes, yes.
running that operations, and traveling around
Mhm.
the globe.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a dream for a lot of the other folks out there.
Mhm.
We have had a ton of discussions around the digital initiatives, right? And the focus that you have as far as taking Jamaica Tallawahs or be it West Indies Legends right to the next level.
Mhm.
So walk us through some of the most important digital initiatives that Tallawahs or Legends or going after right in the recent past.
Well, look, the COVID-19 pandemic have changed the whole dynamics of professional sports. From a cricket standpoint, as you see, most of the series that is being played within the last couple of months is all in the biosecure environment with no spectators or limited, very limited amount of spectators. As you can see, is that most organizations around the world have to be creative now, and one of those creativity is going digital. And I think, and I'm proud to say that within CPL last year, that the Tallawahs were the only franchise with that mobile app that was created between the partnership between Worldwide Sports and yourself. We have become the leading thread maker in respect to that. It have taken us globally in a format that we would have never been able to achieve without having this digital platform that we have created with a partnership with Francisco. So it have taken us to another level. It given us now spectators from around the world. It has also brought the spectators closer with the players behind the scenes. I can remember last year I was providing footage of conversations in the dressing room, conversations on the bus, conversations in the meeting rooms before the team departs for the venues. And those are things that never used to happen. So now, because of this relationship, the Tallawahs were able to show all of the spectators the integral part and the intimate part of the relationship between players, management, players, officials, and to get a close bird's eye view of what's happening more than just when you see the game starts and the first ball is bowled. So I think we changed the whole dynamics of what sporting is going to be, and I would suspect that this year you will see a lot of more franchises will be engaging in trying to create a mobile app because, as I said, it really changes the whole dynamics of players, spectators, players, management, players, owners, and spectators. Because, as you know, spectators are a key component. You would hear the players talking about when they're playing at home. The 13th man or the 13th is always the force in the stands to bring the energy. You talk about Andrea Russell. He feeds off the energy of the spectators of Chris Gale. So not having them actually in the stands, but we are creating this kind of climate where the spectators can still be part of the event, but not being there, but have that presence. So look, this is something new, and as I said, that this is really have changed the way that we're looking to engage not only spectators but sponsors.
Hmm.
It works greatly for sponsors, the mobile app, and it's so easy because you just have your phone, you click, and boom, you're online. And I know that we had some conversations earlier that you're looking to change the whole dynamics for this year to even bring the spectators and the players in a more intimate kind of settings. So I'm anxiously awaiting to see how that's going to work, and I know that will be a success also.
Absolutely, absolutely. And again, to remind the audience, right? Jamaica Tallawahs is the only team in CPL that has a comprehensive mobile app, and it also like takes a visionary leader, right, to put together that proper digital infrastructure, right, to think digital in current trends, right? It has to go both ways, right?
Mhm.
So the technology will help, but you also need a leader, right, to put together a strategy, right, and execute on it. So from what we have seen, digital and innovation have traditionally been a lower priority in the minds of several sports organizations, right? um, why do you think it is? And it's a two-part question. And do you see that the kind of a mindset is slowly changing since the pandemic?
Oh, absolutely. As I said earlier, you have to think outside of the box because this pandemic is going to be here for a while, and we just can't sit back and wait for it. We got to be proactive, and we got to start to make plans to continue because the games have to be played. Um, and a big part of the revenue for franchises are spectators. Um, so we're still playing the games. There's no spectators. So as I said, we have to be creative, and the approach that we looked to create spectators, keep the interest of the spectators in the sports, and having a digital platform gives the spectators the feeling like they're at the game. And I know that we started last year, and we're going to be a little more creative this year, as I said, to make it a little more intimate, and spectators would be sitting at home, and it'd be just like they're sitting at the venue. And even at home, they're going to have more opportunities to engage the players, because this year, as you said, we're looking to have a more spectators players engagement, where spectators can have a discussion with the players after the games, and even before games, and just have that relationship that we're looking to create. So I think that the only way that this thing is going to do is going to expand, is going to get bigger and bigger, and it has become now part and parcel of international cricket and franchise cricket, because it really changed the whole dynamics of what the players and what the spectators engagement between the two.
Absolutely, and absolutely, and yeah, one of the digital strategies is to focus on the ROI, right, and look at revenues.
Mhm.
So from that angle, even sponsors in today's world, they demand more of a measurable ROI, right, for the sponsorship dollars that they put in. Um, do you strongly feel that and believe that digital is one aspect of the overall operations, right? Where digital can set a team apart, right? Increase the valuation of a franchise, right? And also like have the capability to bring more digital sponsors onto the mix, right? Because
Well,
the traditional assets, traditional way of a sponsorship model, you only have so many physical assets that you can give out to sponsors, right?
correct.
But with digital, the options are numerous.
That's correct. Well, again, as you said, with the traditional sponsorships, you can only have sponsorship during the tournament at the venue. It is limited at the away venue, but with digital, it's 365 days a year, because that app continues to be active. There are things that's posted daily. Um, we have players playing in tournaments all around the world. And every time one of our players does something well, we have it posted on our app. So you can constantly follow the performances of our players. The IPL draft was concluded a couple of days ago. You can see players who have represented the Tallawahs and who are in the draft. One of our players, Glenn Phillips, Australia just played India. He scored a couple of runs. Boom! It was on our app. While it's on our app, our sponsors' logos are being displaced. So yes, it is here to stay. It gives the sponsors it gives the franchise, and it also gives the spectators the opportunity to be engaged and to keep up to date on what's happening within the franchise, not only during the tournament, but outside the tournament and other events that is being played around the world. Because once a Tallawahs, we always recognize you as a Tallawahs.
Absolutely, absolutely, and I know you've few engagements lined up. The next stop for you is India, where you are going to be with the West Indies Legends, and there is a tournament that's happening in India. It happened last year,
That's
so
right.
after West Indies Legends, I believe, then your preparations for Jamaica Tallawahs next season will begin. So how are you trying to keep your fans updated, right? Whether it's during the season or even off season, right? Or preparing for the next season, right? So how do you keep your fans up to date? What are some of the engagement methodologies that you use, right? From a team's operation standpoint, and how do you bring them into the mix, right? And make it much more interactive from a fan's perspective.
Well, look, pertaining to the India, the legends, I am going to that tournament. I guess is like a kid, and when you have a cookie jar, candies in the cookie jar, because to go to the tournament and to be sitting next to Tanduka, to be engaging with a Tanduka, um, it is something unbelievable. Sometimes you just froze. So even although I'm in the position that I'm have, that when you meet Tandukas, Brian Lara is my captain. I engage with Brian all the time. But when you get around these legends and have the opportunity to sit with them and to engage with them, it takes you to a different level. So that's something that I'm looking forward to personally. Is tick off one of in my boxes to be ticked off that I meet these guys, but from the engagement standpoint that the Tallawahs is will be doing. One thing that I would love to do this year is that for CPL, the draft is scheduled is going to be in May, and hopefully we can be able to launch some 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 um, some site or some app where we can engage the fans in part and parcel of the selection of players for the draft. Who would you like to see the Tyler Wars retain? Who's the players out there that you would like to see the Tyler Wars bring on board? And keep that constant engagement of the players. Right now the PSL is happening right now. You're going to have Sri Lanka playing the West Indies the end of the month. You have England playing against England is playing India. You have South Africa is playing. You have New Zealand is playing, and we have players from all around the world. So when it's time for the draft, I would like to have it somewhere somehow where play spectators could could be part in a mock draft. Let's have a mock draft. Who would you like to see to be part of the Tallawahs, and keep them constantly engaged. We send out highlights. There's highlights on the mobile app of the things of what sponsors are up to. Um, what's the latest news in respect to all cricket around the world, not only the CPL, but we cover on the app all different aspects of cricket, and it's not only have to be a member of the Tallawahs, but even birthdays. Any cricket legend or any cricketer birthday that comes up could be posted on our app. So we cover cricket generally globally and not only cricket in the Caribbean. And by having that global aspect, we're able to keep our fans engaged because there are things that happen outside of the Tallawahs that they probably would not have known. But being in that constant based on our apps, they're they're maintained and they see what's happening on a daily basis. So the app is very vital. It's very important, and it is something that I see that will be part and parcel of all the franchises going forward. And it has become now a major um, sponsorship vehicle for the Tallawahs, because it gives now the sponsors the ability not only to advertise during CPL, but to advertise on a yearly basis and to have their products or their brand being displayed during the year, and not only during the 2 or 3 weeks of CPL.
So true, so true. Again, this aligns well with Jamaica Tallawahs strategy and also CPL strategy in general, right?
Mhm.
Thinking global, not regional, right?
That's
So
correct.
so now you have games that are in the prime time for Indian audience. And I know we've talked about Jamaica Tallawahs fan base, right? Through
Mhm.
digital activations, what we've done. We have
Mhm.
huge fans coming from Nepal, from India, right? Not only from the region of Jamaica. So that aligns well with your strategy and CPL strategy as well.
Oh yeah, the app has brought in. Look, before we never knew where our fans were, because there was no way to put a dot and say, look, we had these fans in Nepal, we have these fans in the UK. But with the app, now we can measure and see where the fan base is at. And as you said last year, CPL broke all kind of records. Over 500 million folks watched the games. India was a dominant market. Those morning games was a great success, and we're looking to continue in that path, and we're hoping that this year that we can break even more records with the viewership this year. And I think so far CPL has given the franchises the ability to go out and draft and sign international players. I think this is the first for this year, and I think it makes the whole process a lot more exciting. You can draft players very early, and the fans can be part and parcel of that process. So yes, the digital app has really is like a revolution within the sporting industry, to have to be able to create an app that can give you the data
Mhm.
on a daily basis, a monthly basis. It can give you the data per game. I can go back to my sponsors and say, look, this is the amount of people that watch the games. This is how many times your ad was ran on the app. This is the amount of things. So it not only from a sponsor standpoint, but from a franchise, it gives me the ability to strategize where I want to spend my dollars, where I want to do more, where I want to do less, because now I can look at data that originally I didn't have before. And the app gives me the ability to review that data and say, look, I need to spend more money here. I need to spend less money here. I need to go after this brand. I need to go after this sponsor. Because now, as you know, in this business, every time you go to a sponsor, they want to know what's the benefits, what's my entitlements, what am I going to receive. Previously, I go to a sponsor, I said, look, I have branding within the stadium. That's it. Now I can say, no, I have a mobile app and I have 400,000 people who is logged into my mobile app on a daily basis for 365 days a year. That makes a whole different talking to a sponsor now, because now I get their attention because I have numbers and I have data that I can show to them, and we can have a discussion now about sponsorship.
Agreed, agreed. And that brings the final question of the series. We've been working together for close to a year now.
Yes.
Talk us through the partnership with the Fanisko, and how happy are you with what Fanisko has offered the Jamaica Tallawahs as an organization?
Well, look, Finesco have changed, as I said earlier, the dynamics of what we are as an organization in the global digital market. Again, before our relationship or partnership started, I was limited within the scope of what I can achieve with the Tallawahs as a regional team. Now the Tallawahs is global because, as I said earlier, we now can identify where our fan base is located and is located around the world. I never knew that we had so many fans in Nepal until we had this fan base. Yes, we signed Sandeep, but we would have signed Sandeep. Sandeep would have been part of our franchise, but we would have never known the kind of support that we're getting from Nepal if we didn't have this app. So this app has showed us where our fan base is, um, where we need to concentrate. And without the partnership or the relationship, we have never gotten to the where we are at this point in time. And also too, it has given me the ability where I can go to sponsors and let them see what we have, show them the data. And again, everything is data based. Everybody wants to see the numbers. Now I can produce numbers where we can do before. So look, this relationship have changed the whole dynamics. It's put us in the global market, and 2020 was just the beginning. And I know from the discussions that we have had that we were going to make this app even more fan friendly with the intimacy that we're looking to involve this year between spectators and players and spectators and management. And someday we can also get the owners to come and be part of one of these podcasts to give them that business aspect of owning a franchise. I can tell you from my part as a CEO because I carry out the directives of the owners. So, and then I'm also between the management side and the owners. You know, I rotate between those two, and I also run the day-to-day operations of all the franchises, including the aspect of managing whatever events that comes to the regional stadium. As you know, that stadium is the only one that is sanctioned by ICC in North America. We have had the privilege of hosting India twice. We have we have hosted New Zealand. Sri Lanka have also played there. We have hosted Bangladesh. Last year we were supposed to host South Africa, but as you're aware of the pandemic, this year we were supposed to be hosting Pakistan, but again, the pandemic is still having a closed facility, so we will see how that will work out. But we hope that by next year that we'll be able to have a full capacity stadium again, where the stadium will be open and we'll be able to be on the rotation with the West Indies Cricket Board on the tours to the West Indies, starting back again next year. So it's been a great, and we look forward for our continued partnership with you. And I think that again, I'm excited for this year because I think after last year, what the fans have experienced, they're looking this year for something new, and I know that we have some new initiatives that we will be laying out. And I think the fans will be excited to have those opportunities to be fully engaged with the players and the management. Again, to get those behind the scenes footage of players interacting in the dressing room, in the meetings before. And I believe you me, and those guys are, you would think that the cricketers are as passionate as they are during practice, the intensity that you will see at practice, the intensity that you will see in the gym, the intensity you see when they're in the pool. So there's different things that the app allow us to bring to the fans that ordinary you would not see when you just tune in to see a T20 game, right? So I think those new initiatives have made have taken the Tallawahs to another level, in respect to fans engagements. And you can see from the first year, the amount of hits and the amount of folks that's log into our app just show you that how successful the app has been in just under 1 year.
Yep,
Mhm.
and we are excited as well for the upcoming season and beyond. There are like
Mhm.
several initiatives that we have planned, right?
Yeah.
That's going to be a game changer from a fan, player, and a sponsor engagement perspective. Well,
Yeah.
that's it, folks. This is Aravind Sampath, co-founder of Fanisko, signing off, and Jeff Miller, who is the CEO and general manager of Worldwide Management. Thanks, Jeff, for your time.
Awesome. Thank you. Enjoy. Mhm.